Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the leadership keynote, Run Digital Transformation at the Core of Your Business. And our keynote speaker is Mr. Sunil Gupta, co-founder and CEO, Yota Infrastructure. I will take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Sunil Gupta. Known as the data center man of India, Mr. Sunil Gupta has built and operated the most third-party data centers in India. His efforts have been instrumental in India's data center growth story and have been recognized in the industry in the form of numerous accolades on domestic and global platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands together while I welcome our leadership keynote speaker, Mr. Sunil Gupta. And here he is, Mr. Sunil Gupta. Put your hands together for him. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I was just trying to figure out the technology for all this, so it took some seconds to come here. Good morning, Suprabhat, Namaste. Just day before yesterday, I was speaking on a similar forum full of CIO friends in Bangalore, and the topic I was speaking on was supercharging innovation, the new forces of innovation. And I beg to differ with the opinion of many people when I said that in today's day and age, where everything in our personal and professional life has become digital, and Mr. Kiran gave a lot of examples of that, innovation and digital transformation, the boundaries have practically blurred. They have practically started meaning one and the same thing. And let me try to convince you how. When we say innovation in our lives, we typically say we try to do something new, something very different. We try to see things around in a different way, try to connect dots, and then try to come out with something new, which will help our company to increase its productivity, to increase its profitability, to do better things, to deliver better experience to our customers, to maybe make better ways our customer experience our product and services. This we do so that the company's bottom line increases, everybody becomes happy, and the company survives. Because if we don't do innovation, our competitor will do innovation and he will push us out of business. So it is not only for our company's betterment, but also for our company's survival. And that is what is innovation. Now let's come to digital transformation. Digital transformation also is defined as use of digital technologies so that we create something new, which is for the better productivity, for improving our profits, for doing better improvements in our company, for the survival of the company. So essentially, we can possibly say digital transformation is one subset of innovation in which we use digital technologies to innovate to arrive at the same end result. So effectively it looks like digital transformation is some IT part, something relating to IT, which will impact some part of my business in managing the IT which runs at the back end. But as we have seen over last couple of years, especially in when the new age digital technologies have come, where machines are talking on internet more than people like you and me, digital transformation is impacting the whole of the organization in much more ways than what we imagined when all this started. It is impacting the way organizational hierarchies are working. The difference between the top and bottom and the way they communicate is blurring altogether. It is impacting the way our customers are talking to us. It's impacting the ways customers want to experience our product and services, whether it is physically in our showrooms, where they also want to experience the virtual thing when they are experiencing the physical things also, whether it is virtually on our website or in a mixed way. It is impacting how we create our products and services. It's impacting how we improve the productivity of internal processes. It is impacting the way we do projects. In my case, possibly it impacts the way I create large data center buildings and how I can improve the delivery of those projects faster. In your case, it might be meaning how we create new software products and new features in our software products in a much more faster way, so that we bring those features very fast, something which you call as DevOps or AI Ops and things like that. So digital transformation is here to stay. I don't need to sell digital transformation to any of the CIOs and CEOs in this forum today. I was reading an article in the flight yesterday, and a McKinsey quote came that organizations and the CEOs say that they can improve the bottom line of the companies by almost 10% just by having an end-to-end digital transformation in their companies. There was another scary quote in the same article, which said that in early 1900s, it used to take around 78 years for a S&P 500 company to go out of business if they are not innovating, if they are not changing, and if they are not keeping pace with their competition. In today's world, that timeline has reduced to 18 years, which essentially means that if a company is not innovating, and by the way, these examples are all around us. We know how many companies which used to be absolute top of the world in their business today no more exist because somebody, some startup came up with a disruptive idea, innovated something, created $1 billion empire, and just wiped out their competitors. So in today's day and time, possibly if we are not innovating, 75% of the S&P 500 companies may go out of the business if they don't keep on innovating, if they don't keep on bringing digital transformation to bring a change in the way they are running their businesses. One more funny quote. Mike Tyson said, everybody, all of us has a plan unless we are punched on the mouth. So, digital transformation is no more an issue of we trying to bring some new products and services, trying to bring some better website, trying to bring some better UI UX. It is actually a matter of survival for all of us. And for bringing this end purpose, the end purpose which is customer delight, the end purpose can be enhanced employee experience. Yes, enhanced employee experience. In Yotta, we typically say, if you have happy employees, your customers will be happy by default. So digital transformation is not limited only to customer experiences. It is as much valid for your partner experiences, for your vendor experiences, and also for your employee experiences as well. For your optimized business operations, and again those optimized business operations is not again just impacting the way you do your internal business operations, but they today, because the internal operations are directly connected to your external world, how your customers get served faster, is also again it's very important part of the digital transformation, and of course transformed product and services. And how you do this digital transformation to achieve this end results is by way of using a combination of multiple of the technologies which is there in the central circle. Now you will see most of these technologies we never used to talk just even 10 years back, right? Whether it is cloud computing, you call it public cloud, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, hybrid cloud, private cloud, or a hybrid multi-cloud, which is a combination of you using multiple cloud operators, including your captive data center, to arrive at different, to put different workloads on different cloud things. Whether you talk about use of IT into the OT world, that is you start bringing the data from sensors, from RFIDs, from smart machines. You bring that unstructured data, which is very different from the data we all are aware into Oracle and SQL tables, the RDBMS type of a data. You bring that unstructured data and try to arrive at that intelligence which so far was always hidden below some layers which we were not knowing. That is the word of digital transformation we are talking about. Now, as we have seen our customers and all of us, so much of startups using digital transformation, implementing digital transformation over last couple of years, we have seen the scale, pace and trends of this digital transformation activities is itself changing. The trends itself are changing. Now, one of the first trend is, earlier we thought these are something very, very esoteric concepts. They may be successful, they may not be successful. So let's do a pilot, let's do a POC. Let's put it on one part of the organization which does not impact my business as usual. So we were doing it at a smaller scale, at a predictable scale. Today, again, because we know if we are not disrupting, somebody else will disrupt us. The digital innovation, the digital transformation, the agility and the urgency of doing that has increased, and we are now doing it transformation at a scale. Either we are doing it or we are thinking of doing it. Second is, which I explained earlier, our digital transformation was limited to from automating one process in our company, let's say customer acquisition to pay or procure to pay or vendor to billing payment and things like that, which was relating to more of a structured data tables. Today we are actually becoming more agile. We are actually collecting data from so many other devices in our factories, from our operating machinery, so that we can actually have better agility, better insights, and which helps us in turn then, either bringing more automation or better ways of serving our customer. I would like to come on the second last topic, which is, I feel that there was a time when we all were happy in having one large global, possibly system integrator or a solution provider, trying to arrive at everything, delivering one master software which will do everything to automate my company. With so much of changes happening around us, with so much of innovations happening around it, and so much of things which we can do in our company, what I have seen enterprises doing is, they actually are now working with startups, most of which actually are local startups in India, which are doing so much of disruption, so much of new ideas are coming in, which are impacting or which can do which can help us in doing different things in our company. So those things are coming. But that silo automation can also be harmful. So what is happening is, you actually try to do a whole lot of small innovations, working with local startups, working with your own internal teams, but then combine all of them, combine all those automations into a singular overall systems layer through the use of APIs. So you still have innovations in pockets, which can be at your factory level, at a shop floor level, at a management level, at getting data somewhere else, automating it, putting some AI logic there, but combining the benefits of all of them, connecting all of them into a singular layer by using of APIs. Now that is something we have seen in a big way. There is another thing, sorry, I may take 5 minutes more. There is another thing which we can see, and this is one thing which I can talk from a different angle. How do we indigenize ourselves? I think Mr. Kiran was talking about that. As Indians, we are still, while we are localizing our data in India, but that data is still being used by people who might not be Indians for many other benefits which do not come to us as Indian citizens. Can we, and that is something which in the global current geopolitical scenario, which is Russia, Ukraine, where one country got isolated because rest of the world did not favor it, if tomorrow that happens to India, because India also has started taking a lot of stands, what will happen? So can we actually become self-sufficient even by the way of the core IP, core IT, the IP of the core IT which we all use? And that is where possibly it is very much important that the technologies of digital transformation which we all use, whether it is by startups or by others, is actually more indigenous, more local, and we become much more self-sufficient. There are trends across of digital transformation, whether you call these as drivers of digital transformation or whether you call them as outcomes of digital transformations, but there's so much of data around which actually makes all of us as proud Indians. Today, out of our population of around 140 crores, 90 crore people are actually connected to internet. And by the way, out of this 90 crore, more than 60 crores are actually using smartphones. And that is where this whole turnaround of even a vegetable vendor or a rickshaw puller also says कि sir मेरे को cash मत दो, मेरे को Paytm कर दो या मेरे को GPay कर दो, right? That is all because of that entire revolution. In UPI transactions, by the way, India is the largest in the world. The amount of transactions we do for, making those small 10 rupee, 20 rupee payment, we are more than double of China, which is a distant second, and we are more than 5 times that of US and rest of the world. And again, you can see in terms of our e-commerce market. And one thing, I think Mr. Kiran was talking about, how Indians are so adept at using technologies, and not people like you and me, it is people at tier 2 and tier 3 cities also. Given a good technology is a good rate, हम उसको use करना शुरू कर देते हैं. So the same thing happened with computer adoption in 90s, same thing happened in 2G, same thing happened in 3G, it happened in 4G, and today we are very sure that once 5G start percolating in our lives, within 4 or 5 years, we also will see more than 50 crore 5G connections, and will be very happily using it for various means for our personal lives. Same thing we can see in enterprises, whether it is cloud adoption, whether it is SaaS adoption within cloud, Government of India adopting literally digital transformation in a huge way. If I just give a small example of projects which are coming out from Government of India, besides obviously CoWIN, Ayush and many other projects, all our electricity meters are going to become smart electricity meters connected to a wireless connection, so that our usage data goes directly to a backend systems and gives us bills automatically. Now this smart meter project itself, which all the state governments are trying to do for over 30 crore houses in the world, that itself will be one of a huge revolutionary project which Government of India and all the state governments are doing. And you can have thousands of projects like this. So we have a huge digital transformation. Besides what has already happened, huge digital transformation coming our way. And by the way, you might have seen the newspaper reports today. RBI has come with the central bank digital currency today. The virtual currency, the real digital rupee, has already come in, which obviously today will be limited to some very wholesale transactions, but ultimately it will come in our lives, in consumer life as well. Now, when I used to talk about all these trends in various events for the last 2 years, my end conclusion summary of all these trends used to be, if we have to support digital transformation and this type of growth in India in a big way, and we have to lead this, India will need a huge underlying infrastructure which supports this digital. And that infrastructure is end devices, which is sensors and mobile phones, the network in between, which is 5G and fiber, and the back-end data centers and cloud, right? Even today, despite almost 3-fold increase in data center capacity in India, high quality, good quality data center being made by industry in India, even today, India is 1/10 of what it should be. If we just measure the data center capacity divided by the population of a country, India is almost 1/10 of what a US is, what a Europe is, or what a Singapore is. So there is a long way to go to create infrastructure in India. By the way, another quote I normally say, if physical economy, 5 trillion economy, if that needs a whole lot of roads, railways, airports, malls, schools, hospital, if 1 trillion of that need to come from digital economy, the digital economy also needs underlying infrastructure, which is of data centers. And that is where people like us at Yotta are coming in. We are very new entrant in the subject. Let me say, as Yotta, I don't say these things as what we are doing. These are physical incarnation of a thought which we are having in our mind. But fundamentally, we are trying to do 2 things. Creating a very large, high quality, scalable, secure, safe infrastructure, which is either better or equal to any such infrastructure in the world across multiple cities in India, larger data centers in the prominent cities and smaller data centers in the edge cities across the country. And that is what we have done. We have launched 2 data centers in Mumbai and Delhi. Delhi one was launched just about 3 weeks back. And we are creating it in multiple different cities. We are creating edge data centers. Because customers put their businesses, they create the future growth in our data centers, we assure them by having every possible certifications, including environmental certifications, to ensure our customers feel safe and secure in our data centers. But much more than that, I wanted to focus on this slide, which is my last slide. When you are doing digital transformation, which can be very, very complex, where you don't want to put too much of risk when you are trying to toy with many, many ideas which may succeed or may not succeed. And if they succeed, they need to be scaled up much faster. If they fail, you need to fail and come out of that faster without any big liabilities. You actually need not just co-location, which typically are offered by data center operators to you. You actually need somebody who can provide every single layer of IT which runs below your digital transformation applications or the digital transformation idea. Much more than that, so many times it happens, and I have seen that in the last 2 years across my various customers implementations which we have done, that you try to implement certain technologies to come out with that end product for the customer, and suddenly you find there are certain things which you cannot do, a customer cannot do, and there is a gray area. Now at that time, as a partner, whether you take a case, sir आप अपने आप कर लीजिए, इसको हमें नहीं आता है, या ये तो सर हमारा काम नहीं था, or whether you take a big picture, this particular customer or this particular organization is doing something which is great for its customers, for the country, and I as a partner, instead of taking it as a problem or as a not my job, I have a clear opportunity to get into that unknown area, serve the customer somehow by bringing some other customers, by other vendors, partners also, and deliver the end results. That is where I think that gaps comes in most of the projects in India, when the small things fall through the crack and the end projects do not get implemented. That is what as Yotta we are trying to do. While we are creating large physical data centers, we have created a huge range of product across the value chain, from data centers to network to our own cloud services, application services, security services. But when you implement the project for the customer, it has to be end-to-end. Anything which is falling through the crack, anything which does not fall into this, can you also serve that along with your partners and delivering the end result to the customer? This is what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm here for the next 3 days, and we can have an interaction on the counter outside. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunil Gupta. May I request Mr. Suman Banerjee, CHRO ABP Private Limited, to kindly come forward and present a memento to Mr. Sunil Gupta for this very interesting session. Thank you, sir. And here is Mr. Suman Banerjee, CHRO ABP Private Limited, presenting a memento to Mr. Sunil Gupta. Thank you very much, sir. We request you to take your seat in the auditorium. Thank you.